Can you beat Frostbite Caves with only Garden Warfare plants? Hey guys. You're probably wondering why I'm shivering. Well, as you know, Frostbite Caves is a very chilly world, but I also decided to have an ice bath to mentally prepare myself. Unlike the last 3 worlds, Frostbite Caves has 30 levels. What in the frozen Blu-ray director's cut crap is this? And if that wasn't enough, there are way more gimmick levels. However, I think you'll be quite impressed what I managed to pull off in some of these levels. So strap yourselves in, because in day 1, Penny tells us that there's an ice flow on the lawn. Data suggests that it will block both plants and zombies. Jokes aside, Frostbite Caves causes more problems than necessary, with plants having the ability to be frozen alive. These popsicle-looking plants act as an obstacle for my Garden Warfare team, as plants like Peashooter can't shoot through them, despite the zombies just walking around them anyway. So I deployed Colonel Corn to Hail Mary his butter and take down the early waves. And despite being given these pre-planted nuts, they kind of just got in the way, so I sent them back home. We beat the level and get given this pebble, who is definitely looking at me the wrong way. Don't look now, Penny, but those plants have died. Rest in peace.
I suggest we call on Hot Potato. She can melt those.
Ugh, why are you talking to me like I'm 5 years old? What else was I going to use? Snoopy? Even though we're forced to take Hot Potato with us, she ain't a Garden Warfare plant, so I'll just have to use my very much more expensive version, Torchwood, which nicely pairs up with these repeaters that I didn't plant. And whilst I'm getting set up at the back, I can talk about these very weird floor signs. These hand-pointy dudes force the zombies to move lanes in the direction the hand points, which helps to pre-plan a setup knowing where the zombies will go. Every so often, this cold breeze will fly across the screen, slowly freezing over my plantas. It's Spanish for plants. We set our torchwoods into blowtorch mode and moved on to day 3.
My data suggests Hurricane will be of great use.
Penny, stop holding my hand through the game. The guy's a real blowhard. The fuck? Dave, you better watch your mouth. Day 3, and we're already at a conveyor level, but luckily I get given pea shooters. Just not fast enough. After discussing my repeater Peashooter simulation brother analogy last time, the game is giving me repeater, so I'm just gonna use him here. I won't be using him in levels, but just in the levels he's given to me. Capiche? Capiche. Anyway, we lost. Yeah, so day 3 has already stumped us, as the constant turn right ass symbols on the floor force the zombies to clump up, making it too difficult for repeater to, well, survive. So after multiple failures, I resorted to supercharged Peashooter coming in clutch. Not the best method, but hey ho, hot potato. Day 4 started off the same, with building up my Peashooter Torchwood strat. However, we came across this new zombie wearing a lion thing, who has a knack for launching snowballs at my plant. There seems to be a trend here. As long as you have hot plants like Burning Tree Stump guarding everything else, your other plants can't be frozen. And somehow we unlocked a Vase Breaker. Okay, my feet are really cold.
Time to turn up the heat. I recommend pepper.
Oh my god, Penny, shut up. Who wrote this obvious ass dialogue? Let's pick a peck of pepper pulse. It's the perfect plants for piss off. Guess what? We got another conveyor level. Let's see who we get. 2 plants. Is that it? There wasn't much to bring up here, so on day 6, we have to survive with most of my plants already picked. Well, I mean, how many is most? 2 slots? Is that it? Tallnut, I said I would never talk about you again. Luckily, one of our selected plants was Sunflower, so all I had to do was think about who was going to take out these Neanderthals. I obviously chose Snapdragon for the area damage and Torchwood to warm up surrounding plants. What I accidentally realized is Snapdragon is also immune to being frozen and can actually warm up nearby plants, which I somehow didn't expect, but he's a literal dragon, so I don't know. But it turns out that Snapdragon's fire aura strikes once again, which unlocked the Angry Pumpkin. Global cooling is the pits. Can you even speak English?
Please note, I have now replaced the snowballs with fireballs. The flamethrower power-up.
Oh, whatever. Skip. With my newfound knowledge of Snapdragon being an all-round all-star in this world, I primarily used him to conquer day 7. And there were also these frozen split peas here. Why are you here? To try and deal some damage to faraway targets, I combined Snapdragon with Peashooter and Torchwood to beat the level. Day 8. Another conveyor level. Yeah, this ain't happening. Day 9 introduced, Bird, who has this really cool mechanic allowing it to fly over the wet floor signs and avoid all of my threats. Unfortunately, they don't work the same as the balloon zombies from PvZ 1, where Cactus can take them out with ease. So I deployed Colonel Corn to stop the bird in its tracks. You are seriously not doing this to me, Corn. As long as you have a huge swarm of snapdragons, these birds don't stand a chance. Cave zombies sure are hard-headed.
I propose we deploy Shard Guard.
It seems like for every new plant Penny talks about, it then follows up with a conveyor level where we're supposed to use said plant. However, that's not what we're doing, as we get given Peashooters as well as guard chard, meaning there is a chance we can beat this level against its will to use the orange tree. The problem I was facing in the early waves was that these dodos were outpacing the rest of the zombies, and I wasn't getting Peashooter on the conveyor belt fast enough to block every lane, which somehow caused my beavers to immediately run away. What's even harder is if you even manage to get past the first flag, all of a sudden the conveyor belt decides to help you out a bit and replace the Peashooters with 3-peaters. Why? Which means that the Peashooters I managed to place before this are the only plants I have to last for the rest of the level, including the final flag. This level took a lot of trial and error, but let me show you how I did it. The first few plants always shuffle between Peashooter and Shard Guard, with Hot Potato having a slim chance to show up later when the Tiger Face zombie shows up. The order of zombies seems to be the exact same every time, so with the Conehead always spawning in the 4th row, the first Peashooter goes here, followed by the 3rd lane and 5th lane. A second Peashooter is placed to wipe out the Conehead, whilst this Dodo in the 2nd lane is also killed by the beaver, which was intentional as the zombie always has a plant food, which is used to save the top lawnmower by plant fooding this Peashooter to kill the other bird. By this point, we have 3 rows with 2 Peashooters each, with the 3rd row having just enough time to take out these 3 zombies back to back in order to save this one plant food. Another Peashooter is used for the 2nd lane to insta-kill this bird, but then I fumbled and wasted this plant food. After retrying and not wasting this plant food and saving an extra plant food by placing this Peashooter right at the back to kill the bird normally at the start of the game, you just have to stall the zombies long enough to spawn the final wave and kill the remainder zombies with the beavers, and that lets us finally beat day 10. Day 10. Out of 30. Day 11 wants me to yet again beat the level with most plants picked for me. So it'll probably be, I don't know, sunflower, pepper pot, sunshroom? Why are you here? It didn't help that the other plants were just more shit I couldn't use, so I decided to fully send it with only sunflower and snapdragon. And 4 flags? I'm gonna faint. This level in particular sucked, as placing Snapdragon too close to these frozen idiots breaks them free. Yippee, I made it! The level wasn't necessarily too hard, but it was just so long. It made me want to just punch this zombie in the face. But we managed to get through the level and moved on to Day 12, Peashooter level. Finally, something exciting. The Snapdragon army came back, along with this one kernel corn. I don't know, I had a bit of sun left, but this was actually a smart strategy, as I could focus on using Kernel Corn's butter ability to stun larger threats next to the Snapdragons to get in some extra damage before my plants are eaten. And this method worked all the way until the end, where Mr. Buckethead ignored the butter for some reason, and then ate his way through all of my dragons. Speaking of dragons, I was supposed to get a sponsor related to a popular dragon-related game, which I will not be saying to avoid legal trouble. However, they decided to back out because my views were too low. How very cool of them. So instead, this video is sponsored by me, and don't skip because this guy sucks. Didn't expect that, did you? So Mr. Ghostplace over here, look at his stupid face, decided to challenge me to who could get 100,000 subscribers first. If he wins, I'm forced to get a Peashooter tattoo printed on my skin. But if I win, he has to go out in public wearing a Freddy Fazbear costume and be publicly humiliated. My punishment definitely seems more extreme. And obviously with him being ahead of me by like 40,000 subs, it would be stupid to accept this challenge. So what are you doing? Help me beat Ghostplace to 100,000 subscribers. Please guys, help me win guys, please. I need to prove him wrong. Anyway, in day 13, we have to protect Dave's flowers once again. Dave, why are you planting flowers in the middle of caveman land? How are these dumb flowers supposed to grow in these frozen rocks? We beat the level using the same tag team combo from before and... oh, a pre-picked plant level. Yep, that's not happening. Day 15, protect Fireman Sam from being eaten alive. This level did give me some trouble, as for some reason I thought Chomper would be a good plan to protect the fireman from being eaten. But it turns out it was the complete opposite, as this zombie ate Chomper instead. How does that even happen? And this wasn't just on one occasion. We died again, and again, until I decided I had enough. It was time to call Cactus City. We got through the remaining lion faces, and received a stone. I did all that work for a brown rock. Please note the strange stone tablet. It appears to be a warning sign written in Cave Zombie. Tap to continue. What, do you want me to translate this or something? I don't speak bloody Cave Zombie. You're in trouble. Big trouble. I don't know why, but something about what you're saying seems racist. Day 16. Conveyor level, which again has 0 garden warfare plants.
But repeater! You said repeater!
Day 17. Fume shroom? What's with all these mushrooms showing up? This level was nothing impressive to look at, with the Snapdragon gang clearing out every zombie. However, this cactus was trapped in ice, and I'm not gonna let him out. I wish these prehistoric zombies would just go back to their caves.
Data suggests Stunyon would make a great
Day 18 was yet another conveyor level, so we're just gonna move... Citron, what are you doing here? Get your ass back to the far future. Survive with most plants picked. Here we go. What do you got for me? Oh. Well, this ain't so bad. With having access to 4 different garden warfare plants, the random additional plants didn't really cause an issue, especially with these extra plants on the lawn. So in day 20, we continued to destroy all the caveman in sight, until these frozen imps started to appear on the right side of the lawn. What are you doing? Big Tarzan zombie over here pushes these ice boulders every few seconds. They aren't really that impressive because Snapdragon can just burn them down within seconds. And as for Tarzan... yeah, he ain't all that. And look, we even get a souvenir from him. Gross.
User Dave, I have detected an incoming ice cube.
No shit, Penny. Warning! I am running low on antifreeze. It'll be a cold day in heck. Heck? Cold day in heck. Really? Heck. Time to unleash fire Peashooter. Wait, what the fuck? Okay, I didn't expect this to happen, but since Dave has given Fire P to us, I really can't complain. Besides, it's a conveyor level, so it's not like I chose the plant. It's still a garden warfare plant, so it counts. Thankfully, we're also given Snapdragon on the conveyor, so this level was a breeze. Or should I say heat wave? Stroke. This level gave me heat stroke. Day 22. Crocodile. Why? Me don't know. Although we did end up seeing this reincarnated version of the chicken zombie from back in the Wild West. It's just that this time he has a weasel fetish. And I don't want to know what's happening in there. Snapdragon is easily able to poach these chipmunks, which probably doesn't taste too nice. Day 23, protect orange tree. Lightwork, no reaction. Day 24, make me 2,500 sun. In all honesty, I nearly forgot about this objective until the end, where I spammed sunflowers everywhere and forced the sun out of them with plant food. And we finally arrived at day 25, which doesn't matter anymore because there's 30 freaking levels in this world. Penny! 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 What we need right now is a nice hot cup of cocoa. Enjoy that, fat ass.
I recommend we call on Roto Burger.
Who would have thought? Another conveyor level. Other than being a purple helicopter with his peanuts hanging out, there's nothing of interest to talk about here, so skip. Day 26. What the fuck? Sunshroom, how do you keep showing up? This level forced Rotobarga into my loadouts, despite me never wanting to use it because of its inappropriate choice of clothes. But after Snapdragon and Cactus spamming, we took down everything, except this guy. Oh, day 27. Save the Moto. So far, Snapdragon has been enough to take out everything without fail, so placing a couple here, some Chompers there to guard him, and, excuse me, Chomper, why did you not eat him? Okay, well, I guess I can just plant a couple more Snapdragons here and... crap. Let's play a game, Gargantua. I give you a plant and we'll see if you like it. Ready? Sunflower. Peashooter. Sunflower. Okay, I don't think he likes the game. Oh, okay, he really didn't like the game. Look, guys, we can talk about this. We just need to stall you both long enough before... I was right there. Okay, guys, I think it's obvious that this level is very long, which in turn requires me to slowly build up a powerful team over the 4 flags. However, with my most expensive plant only being... Cactus, there's not a lot of damage I can dish out to take out the stronger enemies before they get to my plants. I didn't think it was going to come to this, but I think it's time. That's right, Nightcap is here with her extortionate price of 300 sun. She packs a huge punch, throwing poisonous ninja stars, slowing down every enemy. With being able to plant more and more Nightcaps over the course of the level, nothing even came close to eating the endangered plants, and we got by these giant men. Day 28. Peashooter time. You already know what's happening. Snapdragon X Cactus. And with every cactus being powered up, this was barely a challenge for the Garden Warfare team. My beaver did have to carry at the end though, wiping out this Gargantua, but that didn't matter because day 29, survive with the given plants. Here we go. Let me guess. Sunshroom, chili bean, some other bullshit. Oh, yeah, that'll do. With Fire P alone, we was able to take out everything. I think this plant is genuinely overpowered, considering he only costs the same as Torchwood. However, with day 29 complete, it meant we finally arrived at day 30. It just doesn't have the same ring to it, you know? Boss fight time. Penny, my taco. User Dave, fuck the taco. It's time to fight Zomboss. And she's damn right. Let's see who we get. Welp, I tried. Yet again, another boss fight that uses stupid plants like 3 Peter, who even asked you to be here. But after coating himself in ice like 30 times, we took out Zomboss and his woolly mammoth, which dropped the key to the lost city. But that'll have to be for next time, as there was Frostbite Caves beaten with only Garden Warfare plants. And remember to like the video if you want to see us take on the lost city. Because... Oh, are you kidding me?